So it's a mishmash of a video tonight. Make a video for the sake of making a video. Got my sushi, it's already here. Got a little uni, so rather than just pair it with one wine, I wanted to pair this uni with two wines, both of which I've had numerous times. This one being extra special, the Coulée de Sirent, Nicolas Joly Savennières 2009. Just the epitome of aged whites. I could even see in the neck that, I don't know if that's sediment or tartaric crystals, but super dark color and just a very unique epitome of aged white. And it's a Chenin Blanc. It's the second time I've done the Corvin on this one, and it's been a bit since the last time. I think I did it with an uni pairing in the past, and super aromatic. Has that overripe banana peel. Has some wilted daisies. It's a lot of aromas. God, it smells so good. It's a brightness, but then it's dried fruit and dried flower. It's quite a wine. Just unaffordable now for me to buy regularly. I still have a bunch of the 2009s left, so I will attempt to savor them for the next 10 years if I can, if I can hold on. If I could find some more aged whites. Speaking of aged whites, that Smith Majoni 2016, I went and bought 3 more. That wine is fantastic. That 2016 is already showing a really good aged character. It's only going to get better. I will have a tough time not buying out a store of that every time I see it, because it's absolutely everything I want in aged wine, aged chard, and it's already showing really well as a 16. So for tonight, my primary wine will be, like I said, I bought all these wines for weekday consumption. One of my favorites, Verdicchio de Castelli de Jesse Podiums 2017. So it has a little bit of age on it. It's not an extra aged tasting wine, but it has a little bit. It won't be nearly as dark. No oak on this wine. Certainly ages really well. It's an almond skin thing in here, lemon peel. It's got a little bit of petrol smell today. It doesn't typically, though. Might just need to blow off a little. Today it's masquerade. It's too cold. It's too cold. It's masquerading a little bit like a Riesling right this moment. It absolutely needs to warm up. It's too cold, but it has a little bit of an aged character to it. But, you know, comparison, look at these colors, just so different. 2009, 2017. As you see, white wines gain a lot of color. That wine's at a perfect temperature, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Been in my cellar for years. There's a little apple cider smell, too. It's got an amazing aroma, this wine. Just an amazing aroma. My favorite... Is it my favorite white? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's got high alcohol, too. 15%. It's got alcohol. Something else to mention. The exploration of wine should never end anywhere. I've certainly learned my lesson that I abandoned New Jersey wines many moons ago. Then I rediscovered a number of wineries in New Jersey doing it right. I've not explored a ton of other regions. Finger Lakes recently, fantastic wines up there. The sparklers that came back have been awesome. The aged wines from Sheldrick are awesome. Some of the other wines I suspect will be awesome. But great stuff up there for sure. Good high acid, good ageability type wines. There's a Pinot Noir, the Mokushla from Heart and Hands I can't wait to try. But Pennsylvania, winery near-ish Philadelphia. And I always forget the name. I'm looking real quick. And Vala Vineyards in Avondale, PA. They had 4 wines, a extended skin contact white field blend, that I thought smelled like Sauterne and a wine with botrytis, noble rot, but it didn't taste anything like that. And it was good. It wasn't amazing, so, but it was a good wine. A little bit of, I couldn't get over that it smelled like Sauterne and tasted like something else. Then there was 3 reds. 2 reds were made again from a field blend, and I couldn't put my finger on the 2. So there was a bigger, bolder one called Mahogany. I finally put my finger on it. That absolutely reminded me of Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. If I had to compare it to some Italian wine, absolutely that. And they do specialize in Italian varietals. And the other one had a different name. It was more of a lighter field blend. It didn't have Charbono in it, and Charbono's not an Italian varietal, but this Mahogany had Charbono. So that one had a little bit more texture, a little bit more depth. It was definitely better. I wanted to say the second one reminded me, the first red reminded me of Sangiovese, but it didn't have the Sangiovese character. So more of like a Sicilian red of some sort. I don't know though. Possibly. The Mahogany, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, and then they have a Nebbiolo called Cedar, which I thought was the most complex, unfiltered. There was still sediment floating around. I thought this wine was fantastic. It's a 2016 vintage. All their bottles had a little bit of age on it. Has a little bit of an aged character. Kind of reminded great Nebbiolo. It was a bunch of Nebbiolo clones from Barolo, so it wasn't a field blend or anything. Just 100% Nebbiolo from a place in Pennsylvania, which you would never expect. But it was great. It's a great wine, and purchase the bottle, and we'll enjoy it eventually. So further exploration. I think places, maybe there's just this renaissance of making great dry wine, vinifying dry. They even made a point, hey, all the wines here are dry. And I said, that's exactly what I'd be looking for. Not that I dislike a sweet wine made right. What I don't want is pancake wine. So either way, great stuff. The exploration continues. Working dog I'll end up at soon. They got the Retriever, their Cab Franc, so can't wait to go back and try their all new vintage. I love their rosé, and yeah, so I love this podium. I just need to get a little warmer. It's just a little too cold for me. Try this one on camera, then I'm gonna go have dinner. This just keeps changing and evolving. God, I could smell this wine all day without drinking it. It's got a lemon, a melon skin thing right now. Yeah, like a honeydew melon skin. I don't know why that's hitting me, but that's exactly what I just smelled. It's got even a honeycomb. Wine's awesome. God, when I try aged wines, I'm gonna miss this wine when it's gone. It's unbelievably good, unbelievably complex, extremely long length, amazing acidity. My mouth's still watering. It's got all those extra tertiary flavors of an aged white, but it's still got a vibrancy. The acidity's still all there. It's still very much alive. I really wonder what they taste like in their youth, but I don't believe you would. These wines absolutely are something you want to age, and I think now their current releases are 150. I got this for 40. God, I think about it now. Steal. Bought a case at $40. I think I bought 18 of them at $40 each, and you know, a lot of money at the time, but now I think about it in hindsight. And I bought everything they had. There was no more to buy. I knew that it was about an $80 wine then. It must have tried to been closing them out. Maybe it's not a great vintage, but now the current releases are 150 plus. It's like a marmalade thing, a marzipan, a honeycomb, unripe persimmon, a baked apple. God, it's got so many flavors. So many. Melon skin. All right. Well, that's the update, and that's it. I'm gonna go enjoy the sushi, specifically the uni, and hopefully this podium gets a little bit warmer. I have it left over, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Maybe just have it with some cheese later. My Easter's coming up this coming Sunday, so which wines maybe I'll put them all together Friday and do a little video of which wines we'll bring into Easter. I'm kind of thinking with lamb, a nice Rioja. Prior to the lamb with the apps, a rosé, some sparklers, maybe a light red, maybe. Probably a rosé though. Grill a fair amount of stuff to have as appetizers. I think a rosé goes really well with that. I'd like to get a good rosé or two. Something from Bandol. Or the Cab Franc rosé out of Working Dot is fantastic. If I can get my hands on that prior to Sunday, might be a stretch, but never know. All right, that's it. Have a good night.